all my non-readers out there. Who reads the YouTube's terms of service? No one. Besides me, and I'm going to deliver it to you right now. First try, don't care, protect yourself by using or visiting the YouTube website or any YouTube product, software, data feeds, and services provided to you through the YouTube website. Collectively, the service you signify your agreement to these terms and conditions. Google's privacy policy found at youtube.cat privacy incorporated herein by reference. YouTube's community guidelines found at youtube.cat/community guidelines and also incorporated herein by reference. If you do not agree to any of these terms of Google privacy policy or community guidelines, please do not use this service. Although we may attempt to notify you when major changes are made to these terms of service, you should periodically review the most up-to-date version. youtube.cat/terms. YouTube may, in its sole discretion, modify or revise these terms of service policies at any time you agree to be bound by such modifications or revisions. Nothing in these terms of service shall be deemed to confer any third-party rights or benefits. 2. Service. These terms of service apply to all the users of the service, including users who are also contributors of content on the service. Content includes the text, software, scripts, graphics, photos, sounds, music, videos, audio, visual combinations, interactive features, and other materials you may view on, access through, or contribute to the service. The service includes all aspects of YouTube, including but not limited to all products, softwares, and service, but not limited offered via the YouTube website, such as YouTube channels, the YouTube embeddable player, the YouTube uploader, and other applications. The service may contain links to third-party websites that are not owned or controlled by YouTube. YouTube has no control over and assumes no responsibility for the content privacy policies or practices of any third-party websites. In addition, YouTube will not and cannot censor or edit the content of any third-party site. By using the service, you expressly relieve YouTube from any and all liability arising from your use of any third-party website. C. Accordingly, we encourage you to be aware when you leave the service and to read the terms and conditions of privacy of each other's websites that you visit. 3. YouTube accounts. A. In order to access some features of the service, you will have to create a YouTube or Google account. You may never use another account without permission. When creating your account, you must provide accurate and complete information. You are solely responsible for the activity that occurs on your account, and you must keep your web account password secure. You must notify YouTube immediately of any breach of security or any unauthorized use of your content. Although YouTube will not be liable for your losses caused by any unauthorized use of your account, you may be liable for the losses of YouTube or others due to unauthorized use. 4. General use of the service. Permissions and restrictions. YouTube hereby grants you permission to access and use that service as set forth in these terms of service, provided that A. You agree not to distribute in any medium part of the service or the content with YouTube's prior written authorization. I can't say authorization unless YouTube makes available the means for such distribution to the functionality offered by the service, such as the embeddable player. B. You agree not to alter or modify any part of the service. C. You agree not to access content through any technology or means other than video playback, pages of the service itself, the embeddable player, or any explicitly authorized means YouTube may designate. D. You agree not to use the service for any of the following commercial uses unless you obtain YouTube's prior written approval. The sale of access to the service, the sale of advertising, sponsorships, or the promotions placed on within the service or content, or the sale of advertising, sponsorships, or promotions on any page of ad-enabled blog or websites containing content delivered via the service, unless other materials not obtained from YouTube appears on the same page and is sufficient in value to be basis for such sales. E. Prohibited commercial uses do not include uploading an original. Uploading an original video to YouTube or maintaining an original channel on YouTube to promote your business or artistic enterprise. Shoving YouTube videos to the embeddable player on an ad-enabled blog or website subject to the advertising restrictions set forth above in Section 4D, or any use of YouTube expressly authorizes in writing. For more information about what constitutes a prohibited commercial use, see our facts. F. If you use the embeddable player on your website, you may not modify, build upon, or block any portion, functionality of the embeddable player, including but not limited to links back to the YouTube website. O. If you use a YouTube uploader, you agree that it may automatically download and install updates from time to time from YouTube. These updates are designed to improve, enhance, and further develop the uploader, may take the form of bug fixes, enhanced functions, new software modules, and completely new versions. You agree to receive those updates and permit YouTube to deliver these to you as part of your use of the uploader. H. You agree not to use or launch any automated system, including without limited websiters or offline readers, that accesses the service in a manner that sends more request messages to the YouTube servers in a given period of time that a human can reasonably produce in the same period by not using a conventional online web browser. Notwithstanding the foregoing, YouTube grants the operators of public search engines permissions to use spiders to copy materials for the site for the sole purpose of and solely to extent necessary for creating publicity searchable indicate to the materials, but not caches of arches of such materials. YouTube reserves the right to revoke these exceptions either generally or specific cases. You agree not to collect or harvest any personal identifiable information, including account names from the service, nor to use the communication service provided by the service. Systems provided by the service. You agree not to solicit for commercial purposes any use of the service with respect to their content. I. In your use of the service, you will comply with all the applicable laws. J. YouTube's reserves the right to discontinue any aspect of the service at any time. 5. Use your content. In addition to the general restrictions above, the following restrictions and conditions apply specifically to your use of the content. A. The content of the service. The trademark service, marks and logos, marks on the service are owned by or licensed by YouTube, subject to copyright and other intellectual property rights under the law. B. There's a B. Content is provided to you as is. You may access content for your information, personal use only as intended, through the provided functionality of the service and as permitted under these terms of service. You shall not download any content unless you see a download or similar link displayed by YouTube on the service for the content. You shall not copy, reproduce, distribute, transmit, broadcast, display, sell, license, or otherwise exploit any content for other purposes without the prior written consent of YouTube or the respective licensor of the content. YouTube and its licensors reserve all rights not expressly granted into the service and its content. C. You agree not to circumvent, disable, or otherwise interfere with security-related features of the service or the features that prevent or restrict the use of copying and any content or enforce limitations of the use of the service on the content therein. It's in D. You understand that when using the service, you will be exposed to content from a variety of sources, and that YouTube is not responsible for the accuracy, usefulness, safety, or intellectual property rights of relating to such content. You further understand and acknowledge that you may be exposed to content that is inaccurate, offensive, indecent, or objectionable. They do waive, and hereby do you waive any legal or equitable rights or remedies you may have against YouTube with respect therefore, and to extent permitted by applicable law, agreed to identify and hold harmless YouTube its owners, operate. Had to stop for a second cause GarageBand doesn't let me record that long. So, where were we? Let me look. Its owners, operators, affiliates, licensors, or licensees to the fullest extent allowed by law regarding all matters related to your use of service. 6. Your content and conduct. A. As a YouTube account holder, you may submit content to the service including videos and user comments. You understand that YouTube does not guarantee any confidentiality with respect to any content you submit. B. You shall be solely responsible for your own content and the consequences of submitting and publishing your content on the service. You affirm representing. Oh God. You shall be solely responsible. You shall be solely responsible for your own content and the consequences of submitting and publishing your content on the service. You affirm warrant that you own or have the necessary license, rights to consent, or permission to publish content you submit, and you license to YouTube all patent, trademark, trade secrets, copyright, or any proprietary rights into such content for publication on the service persuaded to these terms of service. C. Clarity. You retain all your ownership rights in your content. However, by submitting content to YouTube, you hereby grant YouTube a worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free sub-licensable and transferable license to use, to reproduce, distribute, prepare derivative works, to display and perform the content in connection with the service and YouTube's and successors affiliates business. This doesn't even sound like a song. Including with limitations for promoting and redistributing part of all the service in any media format and through any media channels. You also hereby grant each user of the service a non-exclusive license to access your content through the service and to use, reproduce, distribute, display, and perform such content as permitted through the functionality of the service. And under these terms of service, the above licenses granted by you in video content you submit to the service terminate within commercially reasonable time after you remove or delete your videos from the service. You understand and agree, however, that YouTube may retain but not display, distribute, or perform server copies of your videos that have been removed or deleted. The above licenses granted by you in user comments you submit are perpetual and irrevocable. D. You further agree that content you submit to the service will not contain third-party copyrighted material or material that's subject to the other third-party proprietary rights, unless you have permission from the rightful owner of the material, or you are otherwise legally entitled to post the material and to grant YouTube all the licensing right granted herein. You further agree that you will not submit to the service any content or other material that is contrary to the YouTube community guidelines currently found at youtube.com/community_guidelines, which may be updated from time to time or contrary to applicable local, national, or international laws and regulations. F. YouTube will process any audio content uploaded by you to the service in accordance with the YouTube data processing terms. youtube.com/t/terms_data processing, except in cases where you upload such content for personal purposes or household activities. Learn more here. support.google.com/YouTube/p=data_applicability. G. YouTube does not endorse any content submitted to the service by any user or other licensor or any opinion, recommendation, or advice therein. Oh God, man. YouTube expressly disclaimed any and all liability in connection with content. YouTube does not permit copyright infringing activities and infringement or intellectual property rights on the service, and YouTube will remove all content if properly notified that such content infringes on another intellectual property rights. YouTube reserves the right to remove content without prior notice. 7. Account termination policy. A. YouTube will terminate users' access to the service if under appropriate circumstances the user is determined to be a repeat infringer. Don't be an infringer. B. YouTube reserves the right to decide whether content violates these terms of service for reasons other than copyright infringement, such as but not limited to pornography, obscenity, or excessive length. YouTube may at any time, without prior notice or in its sole discretion, remove such content and or terminate a user's account for submitting such material in violation of these terms and service. 8. Copyright policy. A. YouTube operates a clear copyright policy in relation to any content alleged to infringe the copyright of a third party. Details of that policy can be found here. www.youtube.ca/t/copyright_notice. B. As part of YouTube's copyright policy, YouTube will terminate user access to the website if a user has been determined a repeat infringer. A repeat infringer is a user who has been notified of infringing activity more than twice. 9. Warranty disclaimer. You agree that your use of the services shall be at your sole risk to the fullest extent permitted by law. YouTube, its officers, directors, employees, agents disclaim all warranties expressed or implied in connection with the services and your use of thereof. YouTube makes no warranties or representations about the accuracy or completeness of this site's content or the content of any sites linked to this site, and assumes no liability or responsibility for any errors, mistakes, or inaccuracies of content, personal injury, or property damage of any nature whatsoever resulting from your access to and use of our services, any authorized access to use of our secure servers, and or any and all personal information and or financial information stored therein, any interruption or cessation of transmission to or from our services, any bugs, viruses, Trojan horses, or likes which may be transmitted to any bugs, viruses, Trojan horses, or the likes which may be transmitted to or through our service by any third party, and or any errors or omissions in any content for any loss or damage of any kind incurred as a result of the use of any content posted, emails transmitted, or otherwise made available via the services. YouTube does not warrant, endorse, guarantee, or assume responsibility for any product or service advertised or offered by a third party through the services of hyperlink services or featured in any banner a third party through the services or any hyperlinked services or featured in any banner or any other advertisement. YouTube would not be a party. Okay, we can't skip that. We can't skip it, I guess. Third party through the services or any hyperlinked services or features in any banner or other advertising, and YouTube will not be a party to or any way be responsible for monitoring any transaction between you and third party providers of products or services with the purchase of a product or service through any medium or any environment. You should use your best judgment and exercise caution where appropriate. 10. Limitation of liability. In no event shall YouTube, its officers, directors, employers, or agents be liable to you for any indirect, incidental, special, punitive, or consequential damages whatsoever resulting from any errors, mistake, inaccuracies of content, personal injury or property damage of any nature whatsoever resulting from your access to and use of our services. Any authorized access to user of our secure servers and or any and all personal information. Bam! You garage band just stopped my song again. So I'm gonna pick up right where I left off. And I know this really sucks, but here were we. Personal information or financial information stored therein. Any interruption or cessation of transmission to or from our services, any bugs, viruses, Trojan horses, or the like, which may be transmitted to or through our services by any third party and or any errors or omissions in any content or for any loss or damage of any kind incurred as a result of your use of any content posted, emails transmitted, or otherwise made available via the service. Whether based on warranty, contract, or any other legal theory, whether or not the companies advise of the possibility of such damages, foregoing limitations of such liabilities. The foregoing limitations of liability shall apply to the fullest extent permitted by law in the applicable jurisdiction. You specifically acknowledge that YouTube shall not be liable for content or the defamatory, offensive, or legal content of any third party, and that the risk of harm or damage from the foregoing rests entirely with you. The service is controlled, offered by YouTube from its facilities in the United States of America. YouTube makes no representations that the service is appropriate or available for use in any locations. Those who access or use the service from or any jurisdictions do so at their own volition and are responsible for compliance with local law. 11. Indemnity. To the extent permitted by applicable law, you agree to defend, identify, hold harmless YouTube, its parent corporation, officers, directors, employees, and agents from and against any and all claims, damages, obligations, losses, liabilities, or costs, or debt and expenses include but not limited to attorney fees arising from your use of and access to the service, your violation of any terms of these terms of service, your violation of any third party right, including without limitation any copyright, property, privacy right, or any claim that your content caused damage to a third party. This defense indemnifying obligation will survive these terms of service and your use of the service. Saying service way too many times. 12. Ability to accept the terms of service. Damn. You affirm that you are either more than 18 years old of age or an emancipated minor or possess legal parental guard. 12. Ability to accept terms of service. You affirm that you are either more than 18 years of age or an emancipated minor or possess legal parental guardian. One more time. 12. Ability to accept terms of service. You affirm that you are either more than 18 years of age or an emancipated minor or possess legal parental guardian consent and are fully able and competent to enter into the terms and conditions, obligations, affirmations, representations, and warranties set forth in these terms of service, and to abide by and complete with these terms of service. In any case, you affirm that you are over the age of 13, as the service is not intended for children under 13. If you are under 13 of age, please do not use this service. There are lots of other great websites for you. Talk to your parents about websites that are appropriate for you. 13. Assignment. Woo. These terms of service and any rights and licenses granted hereunder may not be transferred, assigned by you, but may be assigned by YouTube without restrictions. 14. General. You agree that the service shall be deemed solely based in California, and the service shall be deemed a passive website that does not give rise to personal jurisdiction over YouTube and either specific and general jurisdiction other than California. These terms in service shall be governed by the internal substance laws of the state of California with respect to boom. Let's do that again. These terms of service shall be governed by the internal substance laws of the state of California without respect to its conflicts of laws and principles. Any claim or dispute between you and YouTube that arises in whole or in part of the service shall be decided exclusively by a court of competent jurisdiction located in Santa Clara County, California. These terms of service, together with the privacy notice at youtube.ca/t/privacy and any other legal notices published by YouTube on the service shall constitute the entire agreement between you and YouTube concerning the service. If any provision or these terms of service is deemed invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the invalidity of such provisions shall not affect the validity of the remaining provisions of these terms of service, which shall remain in full force and effect. No waiver of any term or of these terms of service shall be deemed a further or continuing waiver of such term or any other term, or YouTube's failure to assert any right or provision under these terms of service shall not constitute a waiver of right of such provision. Fuck. YouTube reserves the right to amend these terms of service at any time without notice. It's your responsibility to review these terms of service for any changes. It's on you, bro. It's on you. It's up to you. I bet you're still not reading it. Your use of the service followed any amendment to these terms of service will signify your assent to and acceptance of its revised terms. You and YouTube agree that any cause of action arising out of or related to the services must commence within 1 year after the cause of action accrues. Otherwise, such cause of action is permanently barred. Dated May 25, 2018. But the song, if it's a song, was recorded today, November 27th. Jesus. That was way too much, and I fucked up a lot, I know that, but maybe you should read along. Go back, read along, protect yourself, know what you're signing up for, read.